Hello out there, comic book lovers. It is Friday. So you know what that means. I'm doing my Friday night reviews. I am going to take three comics from the previous Wednesday, so the three what I thought were the best, and do a review of them. And then I'm going to take the one that I liked the least. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad, but it's the one that I liked the least. And check it out. All right, happy Friday, people. You know what that means? It's time for Friday night reviews. I'm going to do something a little different this week because I just spent a few minutes trying to figure out which comics I wanted to pick to do it my normal way. Which one I liked the least, which one I liked, the best in ascending order. But they were all pretty good. I enjoyed them all. Yes, there are some that I liked a little bit better than others. But I decided let's just do a little change up and do all of them. Just because I only have 5. And it normally takes 4 to do my Friday night reviews. And I'm just going to do all 5 of them in one video. Because they were all pretty entertaining this week. Hold on. I'm having a little bit of knee problems today. Let's just get some get a little bit of painkillers going here. Ibuprofen. Bam. All right. So the first one that I'm going to do, excuse me, this week is Future State Shazam #1. I wanted to, see what they were going to do with Shazam. This is written by Tim Sheridan. And, sorry, I'm going to have a little bit of a glare here. Eduardo Pasica, P-A-N-S-I-C-A, does the pencils. Julio Ferreira is the inks. And all the other stuff. So basically this starts out in narration where these kids are coming in to meet like the Justice League Academy. Some narration. And then you come in with Shazam fighting some people. There's something, and then it turns out that it's him waking up. It's a dream, and it's still full-sized Shazam. And the phone's ringing, and wakes him up, and he's denying calls from his sister Mary. So you find out that there's something wrong. And then you have Vixen talking to the Question. And the Question is like, there's something wrong with Shazam. What's up with that? And, it turns out that they are working with, because this is the Justice League or like a Titans thing, a group. And, there's some trouble going on at Iron Heights Penitentiary, and they have to go and deal with it. You have Giganta and some other people coming in to try and get to somebody, and they're coming after Creeper. And Shazam and the rest of the group are sitting there trying to stop them, and they don't. He gets pretty much taken out. And he's not the only person. So they're trying to figure out who it is that keeps coming after these people, who it is that's killing these people. And there's obviously some tension between the question, and this isn't one of the regular questions. I think it's a new person, and he keeps calling Shazam Billy, because Billy Batson is Shazam, and Shazam keeps saying, "Don't call me Billy," and he's being pretty intense with it, and he doesn't seem to be himself. So they're trying to, figure out what's going on, and then you see Shazam talking to some mysterious person, and about somebody having to guard the Rock of Eternity, where he got changed, or where the 7 chairs are. And that's his main thing right now, because if he doesn't keep it guarded and getting the person who was imprisoned in there, if that person escapes, shit's done. The world's taken over. There's bad things, and you need somebody who is pure of heart, and the person he's talking to is like, you're not the one who's pure of heart. That's Billy Batson. You're the result of him being pure of heart. And then you have who is it that he was talking to? This conversation was years ago. It says years ago that this conversation happened. So that's why it's going on. But I think they did mention who he's talking to. Neron. I'm not quite sure who Neron is. But then something happens, which I'm not going to show you, because that is the big cliffhanger. So this one was pretty good. This one was actually a little bit better than a lot of the Shazam books that I've been reading, written by Geoff Johns. I really did like this one. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Because it's a well kind of paced story. You're trying to figure out what's going on. And art is really good. Has a good mystery as to who's trying to kill these people, who is being guarded in the Rock of Eternity, and why is Shazam so worried about it. So, what did I say, 3 out of 5? Yeah. So, let's move on to the next one. Red Sonja, The Price of Blood, issue 1. Now, when I picked this up, I did it by mistake. This was, for some reason, and I wasn't paying attention, I thought this was a new Vampirella book. I should start paying a little bit more attention to the things that I pick up at the shop, but and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna like this because I usually don't read Red Sonja. Not a big fan. But this is written by, again, sorry, Luke Lieberman. The artist is Walter Giovanni. The colorist is Adriano Lucas. Letterer is Taylor Esposito. Let's turn that back here. So, it starts out with Red locked in a prison/dungeon, being kind of harassed by some weirdo, deviant And she's just like, dude, fuck off. I'm not in the mood for this type of stuff. And then there's somebody else is in the room who basically just like does to him what Sonya wanted to do. So turns out he's in there for murder, and he's like, look, why are you here? You know, he says, we're stuck down here. You know, she didn't want to tell him. And he's like, look, we're stuck down here. We've got plenty of time to tell me the story. So she starts telling the story about how she got here. She and a friend who had just gotten done with the adventures in the last series of... it is Red Sonja, Birth of the She-Devil trade paperback. So they just got done with that, and they're looking for some relief, some good times. And they come across kind of a festival. It's a religious festival, kind of a party. It's sort of like, you know, what is that in New Orleans that ends on Fat Tuesday? Yeah, pretty much that. So they're sitting there having drinks, dancing, banging, doing all this stuff, you know, having a good time, just trying to relax after all the stuff that goes on. And then all of a sudden, this group of religious zealots show up. It's like the next morning, and saying, you guys shouldn't be doing this because, you know, our version of what this God says is, you know, you're not supposed to be having a good time. You're supposed to be chaste. You're supposed to be doing this. While the people who are having the party saying this, it says, you know, have a good time, enjoy life, do this. And these guys are like, yeah, nope. You guys are heathens. And they go in, and Sonya picks up a sword and starts fighting back to them because they're taking these people out. And of course, this draws the ire of the leader. And she's get caught, but then gets pulled out of there by this woman right here, who is kind of a facilitator. She puts people who need a specialty, have a special job they needed done, together with people who can do that special job. You know, hence it sounded like assassination type stuff, killing type stuff, and it pays well. And she says, do you want to do it? And sends Sonya after Dude. So for the rest of this book, it's her trying to go after Dude. This was actually really well done. The art is nice. I really like this type of art. They don't go... You're pretty much caught up with everything. You don't need, you know, any background because this is the first issue, and they don't sit there and try and play too much, you know, too loose or too with, you know, what happened in the past, because this is just, you know, you get all the information you need in this, and then just get the action going. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I really did enjoy this story, and I definitely intend to pick up number 2 to see how it turns out, because it did leave on a cliffhanger. So I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. Now, this is a little weird. My next one, Future State. The next Batman, number 2. This is one of the ones that has a bunch of different stories in it, which I don't like. Because you have the next Batman story, which I really liked. This is part 2, and we do find out who, excuse me, the next Batman is. Is it the next or the new? Yeah, the next Batman is. It starts out with him going after some people trying to stop a guy. Turns out that he finds a body someone who had just gotten beaten to death. And so he's going after the people who did it and trying to stay a little ahead of the group's enforcers. And so he's going after it. And you also have Lucius Fox's daughter or wife talking to the new mayor, the guy who got elected in the Batman series. She's having problems with the way he is dealing with the whole anti-mask people. Good guys and bad guys. This guy got elected, and at this point, he's got a private security company, which is, the people that are after Batman, who have shoot-to-kill orders. And Batman is on the top. And she's saying, dude, that's not legal. That's, you can't do that. And so there's kind of a big argument. He's like, I brought you here to help fix this. And she's like, you should have had this talk before, before you implemented this. And so there's that. Then Batman finally catches the people who committed the murder. And then it leads to a little cliffhanger. Now that part I really liked. But then I don't want to show that. Then it comes to, this is called, sorry, I don't want to show this. It's called The Batwoman. It's a story about different Batwomen. It starts out in the Magistrate Detention Center, Gotham City, several years from now, day one. And you have, it's not Cassandra Cain. It's, the one that doesn't talk. She got caught, and she is a member of the rebellion, and she's trying, she's one of the Batgirl who didn't talk. She's the daughter of one of the lead assassins. She can read body language. I want to say it's Cassie something, but anyway, she gets caught, and it's her dealing with her time in the prison and people going after her, and a couple of other Batwomen were in there, and turns out that one of Dick Grayson's girlfriends, who's also a member of the Bat family, turned them in. I can't remember why. I don't remember her name. They're having issues together because their relationship is falling apart. So I pretty much stopped reading that one because I didn't like it. And then there's looks like there's another story with Poison Ivy against somebody, and this is too much money to spend on a bunch of stories that I don't like when the main thing I'm looking for is the Batman story. So the next Batman story brings it strong enough to keep a 3.25 score, but I'm sure it lowers it because the other stories lower it. It would have been a little higher if they had just kept the original story and not thrown all this extraneous stories in there. I see what they're trying to do, because it's Bat stuff, but no. All right, on to the next one. The Scumbag, number 4. Look at that cover. That was just... So, it starts out with a scumbag. He's sticking a Judas Priest tape into his tape player, and he's off. He cracking a beer, rolling a joint, and turns out that he has his flying car. He has his little sex robot, and he's also in the car with his handler, the woman who works for the organization who's trying to help him, get him to use the formula that's inside him to help save the world. And things are just going to hell for him because his sex robot is not wanting to be with him. She's like, yeah, we're not going to do that stuff. And the woman wants him to, like, dude, we still have a job to do. So let's get this stuff done. And they go to a party that they're supposed to be meeting a contact, and they use their little, some little imager where they change their outfits and stuff. And so he goes in there posing as some oil baron, because these, the bad guy group is selling oil at pennies on the dollar, just trying, getting themselves really rich, and I guess devaluing the oil market. And that's one of the things they want to stop them from doing and figure out what's going on. And he's supposed to be the CEO, and she is his COO. And he almost blows it, and turns out that there's a huge party in the background, which draws his attention away from him, because he's like, hey, and just, his handler is having a hard time keeping his, attention on the job. But then he does meet up the meeting, and because he's supposed to be posing as this oil magistrate, and they want to see what's going on, and so they have big kind of a discussion of what's going on, and then they lay turns out that it's a trap, and it sets it up for the next issue. I'm enjoying this series, even though there's a little bit of stuff that, they're taking shots at some people that I don't, didn't think were warranted, but that's okay. It's a fun story. Here, I forgot to do who wrote it and all that stuff. So let's get this going down here. You have Remender. Rick Remender is the writer. The artist is Roland Boschi, and the colorist is Marino Dinisio. I'm not even going to bother to try and pronounce that, because I can't. But this series has remained pretty strong and entertaining, just because there's a good plot going on here. You have this dude who's a complete and utter wasteoid idiot, but these other people have to work with him to do it. And I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5 and recommend you pick it up. I'm going to definitely be getting the next one. And if you haven't been reading it, pick up the floppies or wait until the trade's out. Anyway, so my last one right now is Deceased, Dead Planet, number 7 of 7. This is written by Tom Taylor. Let's see if they have the names of all this stuff. Nope. Anyway, so it's Tom Taylor. You have Haiss. Oh, no, we're seeing. Here we go. These are all the people. Right there. And so it left off with all the, what do you call them? The robots who were, it starts off in Brisbane, Australia, with a swarm of androids. The people who were this android that was supposed to have been built to destroy the Justice League is just, had been let loose by the bad guys to just take out all the people infested with the anti-life virus. And then you have the heroes trying to stop the virus, or stop the robots, androids, and also they have a cure. So you have certain groups trying to stop the androids. You have Superman and one of the Flashes. It's not Wally, it's the other West Flash, speeding around trying to administer the cure. But then you also have Zatanna and Constantine trying to fight this demon who is also trying to destroy the world. And this is the final issue, so you're trying to, they're going to tie it all up. And I don't think I'm going to be spoiling too much, but they do administer the vaccine to the people who are surviving. There's only about 2 billion people left now. They've got it. There are a couple more hero deaths in this. But it was really, just as good as all the other deceased stuff that Tom Taylor has done. And this is a really good book. It was a really good series. The art is fantastic. As usual, the story is well-paced and just kind of fun. I'm going to give it a 4.25 out of 5. And if you haven't gotten this one, you probably can go back and get the floppies, but if you don't want to do that, get the trade, because it's just that good. So anyway, that's my stuff for this week. Let me know if you read any of them, what you thought of the ones that you did read. Am I right? Am I wrong? But either way, enjoy your comics.